saying here is this: the country is in a mess. Yes, we have Nigerians are good. If you enter a plane some years ago and a Nigerian pilot is flying it, it flies smoothly. You see, we are gifted by God Himself. We are God's own people. You understand? We have everything. Whatever the Nigerian child is going to do, is going to do it well. But we have destroyed the fabric of what Nigeria is. And the reason it has been like that is because we have people that I will call gang robbers, that armed robbers, that got themselves. They are not educated people. These are thugs that were cloned from the dictators we had before.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I always think that you get the leaders that you deserve.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Now, saying what you've just said there. Okay. You are highly educated. A lot of Nigerians are highly educated.
Yes.
How do a bunch of very highly educated, experienced people find themselves in a position where they have this kind of people to be there? That makes them not so intelligent.
No, I don't think so. Because in 2006, 2007, I went to Nigeria to contest the governorship of Delta State. Yes, and when I did, because what happened, what I do is I listen to my heart, and I believe that the divine connects with me through my heart center. So everything I do is done. And so when I was told through my heart in 2006, so go go for the governorship of Delta State, I went there. And it's good because it opened my eyes, and I believe now that the divine wanted me to go in there and see for myself. So what we have, people, educated people, have tried to come in, but they can't, because these guys are using arms. They use arms, they use money, they flood the place with money, and then of course the love of money and material wealth that we now find ourselves in. We don't have youths anymore who are ambitious to contribute to their country. They are not talking about integrity. They are not talking about respect. They are just talking about here, the money that we make. So of course, these guys that have now gone themselves into politics, they are criminals. We know that. Some of them were convicted. We know, but they still managed to come in. And when they came, they got all the money and they made people rich, and they like that. So what I'm saying is, if you, as a governor of a state, you hold on trust for the people of your state. You are the chief executive. So if you receive the budget for your state to do things and you fail to do it, you and you alone should account for the resources. It shouldn't be that you say you gave some to this, you gave to this to the Speaker of the House of Assembly, we shared it. No, you must account for it, because that's what happens in companies. If I'm the chief executive of Women of Africa, the responsibility of accounting for the integrity of the women of Africa rests solely with me. I cannot blame another person and say, well, but I delegated. No, you delegate, but you do not delegate the responsibility. Accountability for what you delegated. The person you delegated to is your agent, and as a principal, you retain the right as a principal. Therefore, whatever goes wrong, you account for it. That is where. So I found that as educated as one is, yes, you cannot just go to Nigeria and go and change the system. This is why that's why you find that a lot of people who are educated are outside. The breed of graduates we have now on the ground are not people that have been properly educated. That's
so what future does that hold for the country then?
This is why I feel that now let's start the campaign of using these Chibok girls. Use security or insecurity of the place. There must be something that you're going to hold on to and say, sorry, this is not going to go away. We want to hold you responsible. We want you to step down. So that if you notice, since all of this has been going on, how many senators have spoken? Because they don't know what to say. I was listening to the governor of Borno State the other time. I was looking at the man and I said, sorry, how did you become governor? This is the kind of people we have, and this is why we cannot expect anything better.
He wouldn't even go to the Chibok school because he was afraid.
He was afraid. Yeah. So if you have people who are afraid, then these are not the people who care for people. And this is why you find they depend on lies. They will lie as a rest. and our people will rest. How do you sleep when a criminal is telling you to sleep? Can you sleep? A criminal. There are those who will say to you, don't worry, God is in control. But meanwhile, God is in control of my life. I'm hungry. I can't pay my electricity bill, although there's no electricity. For you, I'm giving you money to go fly jets. And I have not been able to work it out. That is all fraudulent behavior. Because all of it is fraud. And that is why we are where we are at the moment. But that is not to say we don't have educated people. But the educated people have been shamed. And now our education don't mean anything because we have the crops of people. My son will say to me, this is not good at all because the president is supposed to be representing 200 million people. He says it's not good at all. Yeah. It is not good. This man is shaming all of us because that is what we are. That is who we are. This is why we must say step down. And this is why I'm saying step down. You step down now. We must keep this struggle going. Okay.
So, saying that, we do have elections in 2015. How can we have a third option, or what can we do that will change things and make the election actually worth voting for in 2015?
I was told recently on the grapevine that Obasanjo said that even Jesus Christ cannot conduct a free and fair election in Nigeria. And that is true. It's true because he knows what he has done. The electoral system has been damaged. You see, the electoral system is so corrupt, and that is why I said to you that the fact that educated people, people of good conscience, people with patriotic commitment to say, I want to be, the image of my country is my image. If that is the case, I want to be part of the cleaning up of the mapping up of the creation of an image that will befit me and my children. Because if you are a Nigerian, if you go look for work, people, they look at your name and say, this one a Nigerian. They will not shortlist you. If you get it, you're going to struggle. I say to my children, if you put your name down, put your qualification alongside it, so that we know that this is different. So we find a way of doing this. So we now say, okay, well, let's change the system. The problem we have is the system. Yes, this was why in 2010 I was in Nigeria and I addressed press in Nigeria. And I said at that time, Goodluck Jonathan was going to. I said no, he's in a very good position. The truth is, if you look at him, if he's someone who knew what to do, he was in a good position to make the change. And that change was address the electoral system. If you cannot address, I said, he did not have to contest election. He did not have to. What he needed to do was to say, right, there is a problem. And this problem, the only way we can deal with it is to clean the electoral system. I was told at home, once I went to Nigeria, by someone who works with INEC, he said, Madam, he said, INEC does not have the list, the electoral register of Nigerians. Yeah. They don't have it. And I know also that in 2006, 2007, the British, the Americans, the Europeans, the Canadians came together and created what was known as the donor basket. And that donor basket was to enable the Nigerian electoral commission to become independent of the ruling party or the ruling government. That was what they did. I knew because, as I said, I went to contest for the governorship of my state. And that put me in a place where I knew what was going on. I was meeting, we were holding meetings, they wanted women to come. They actually wanted to dilute the political scene, bring in more women, with the hope that they would be able to change the electoral system and therefore the political scene for the better. This is what they've done. So when I talk to a lot of people now, and they are telling me, Alice, we don't know what to do. We do not know because they have tried everything. What happened with that money? There was a big money that went in. When they say, let's do registration of voters. I was there. What did they do? they asked that, so laptop was the thing they used. They said they should go and manufacture them from Switzerland. And in my house here, I was told that the people who manufactured the laptop cost about 8 million. Yes? But instruction came from the presidency that they should change the 8 million to 28 million. The people were shocked because they wanted to share the money. And this was how they did it. And they also used it to jump past the anti-money laundering law. And this is your Obasanjo time. But that's what Obasanjo, when Obasanjo says that Jesus Christ cannot conduct a free and fair election in Nigeria, he knew what he's talking about. Because he knew that he was one of those who destroyed the electoral system. So what I was saying is that the current president, instead of contesting election, all he needed to do was to say, look, I want to take 5 more years. There will be no election. We want to sanitize the electoral system. That's the only way he could have done it, because he had the power to do so. But no, instead, from the moment he said he was contesting, I knew he had completely lost it, because he wanted to use an electoral system that does not exist. So what they do, you give Yega. We did it in Morisiwu, because face to face I stood with Morisiwu, and I confronted him on the issue of the electoral failings of INEC. And they justified, they work for the same people. All of them are PDP. You see, so what we have is that we have a system that is so faulty, it will not be able to sanitize and revolutionize Nigeria. It will not give us the kind of Nigeria that we're looking for. The only thing that will give us the Nigeria we're looking for is for us now, for the people to get up of their wake up and say, we need the revolution, step down. Because there's no other way we can do it. Step down, and we want now, if you want the country to go to state, if you want federalism, we make it the same one now. Some will ask, but already Jonathan Goodluck Jonathan has already constituted the conference, and we're now saying, what are we going to do? Okay, one person going to the conference is going to be paid 12-point-something million for 3 months. 12-point-something million for one person, and they're times 500, plus the ones that they themselves will share. So tell me how much that is going to cost the national purse. It's going to wreck everyone. So the point we're making is, let it be. Now you say, okay, if we ask them to step aside, they don't step aside. How are we going to be able to retrieve Nigeria? You'll be able to retrieve Nigeria, or retrieve yourself, because I'm not talking about myself. How am I going to be able to escape this dungeon that I'm in, called Nigeria, with this gang of people? But how my children will be safe?
Yeah, but the last thing we really want is the military to come back, because that would be extremely bad for the whole country.
Let me tell you something. After because I was very much at the forefront of the campaign to end military dictatorship in Nigeria. I don't like the military. We go out, Tony Niam. You know Tony Niam, who was one of those in the first, he knew me very well. And he told me, when he saw me, he went like this. Because he got to know me. Because I was very much on the forefront of this. And he knew that I didn't like the military. I didn't like the military because I feel, one, you have not been asked to come. Secondly, you don't represent the people. You are doing your own thing. So, but we've reached a point. I do not believe in international intervention. Someone, if I go to my Facebook, someone is telling me, but Alice, you are talking about what do you make of this now? I've not answered. Because I've reached a place where I'm saying, how do we come out of this? We don't have a population, a youth that is going to get up and say, let's change the system. We had them before. What did they do? The students. As students, NAS was very powerful because they were the youth, they were the future of the country. They themselves have been broken, they have been compromised. So if now, where do we go from here? So there has to be a place. We must get to a place where we say, okay, how do we end all of this? If that is going to be the military. Because after Abacha died on the 8th of June, 1998. I was in Nigeria when Abacha died. Yes? And one of the things when Abdul Salami came in, one of the things I did, I spent time in Abuja. I wrote letters to Abdul Salami, begging him. The letters are still here. I will make them public. You know, begging him, don't hand over just yet, because there is a problem. The problem is, we do not have an electoral system. The Nigerians have been so bastardized, and they went out and they tried to change the system using the electoral system, and it didn't work. What happened? IBB annulled the election. So people are disillusioned.
That was Fedeco at the time, I think.
Yeah. Yes, that was Fedeco, something like that. Yes, they were the people. So you've destroyed it. Now we need to reorientate Nigerians. We need to assure them. We need to lay the foundation for democracy. I believe in democracy because I believe that no democracy is perfect at the beginning, but we must start, and the democracy will eventually work itself pure. And how will it do that? And I told IBB when I met him in his Mina place, I said, you as one person. He was going to talk to me. I said, don't talk to me. I said, because I know you. You were the man who annulled Nigeria's free and fair election. As one man, you had no right to do that. I said, because now here we are.
That was the Abiola election.
That was the Abiola election. And I told him, for 45 minutes as you sit with me, 45 minutes he sat in his office and listened to me. I said, you listen to me. You don't know me.
He has since said that he regretted doing that.
That's it. Because I told him. I said, you single-handedly, one man. I said, if Nigerians decided that Abiola was the man they wanted, which was the democracy that I believe in, that's the democracy that I fought for. If they say, we want, and this Abiola of a man, now goat, but we want this goat to be our president, you should have allowed the goat to rule them.
Yeah, he was going out anyway.
Thank you. So what he needed, and I told him. So when he says he regretted, because I told him, I said, the harm you did as one man, whether Nigeria will recover from it is yet to be seen, because you have destroyed the very process that needed to bring Nigeria out of the bricks.
And we're still paying for it now.
And we're still paying. That's what I said to him. I said, whether Nigeria will recover remains to be seen. I said, so if they say goat, let the goat be it. But when at the end of the goat's time, and the people say, well, the goat will be goat. You have not served us. This time, we need a cow. Let the people, let the cow
be there.
Yeah. Yes, because this is their choice. Let the cow do his bit. Then the people will realize, oh no, this is not cow. That is how democracy works. There is no pure democracy in the whole world. But in our own case, because we have now destroyed the very fabric, and because we have destroyed the people's trust, because we don't have the system to support that kind of the beginning, to begin to see it happen, we are now drifting. We have drifted to a place that Boko Haram came up. When the men came up, instead of saying, excuse me, let's deal with this, they said, no, we give you amnesty. So we pay you $70,000 naira every month so that you can go and study in a university, although you cannot write or spell your name, go. But we just take you out of the system. How does that help us? What kind of future is that? People want to be able to grow from within, to be themselves and live their lives. That is what we need. But the system, because we do not have what it takes. We don't have what it takes to govern. We don't understand what economic development is. We don't understand the fact that Nigeria does not belong to one person. We don't understand the role of the economically active bodies, their contribution to the national economic growth. We don't know it. So we now we say Nigeria is the biggest economy. For who? Who created it? Is it the crowd that perished, the crowd that assembled in Abuja and across Nigeria looking for one job? Is that the crowd? Are they the ones who created that wealth that the index is talking about? The same people who say yes, Nigeria is the greatest, they are the same people now saying that simple Boko Haram is the same people. So who are we going to blame? We have a problem, and this is what I'm saying, that even the military right now, if we have the military force, because right when Boko Haram came, as I was saying, as Nigeria is at war. If Nigeria is at war, then what the commander-in-chief should be doing, assemble his military men. Put them together, not one person. Put them all together and say, okay, how do we deal with this? Give them what it takes. Go deal with it. Because we could have done it. But we don't have what it takes to do it.
Yeah, I think it was a missed opportunity for Jonathan as well, because this could have been something that he used to unite the whole country.
This is the point I'm making. This was the point I made in 2010 when I addressed the press in Nigeria. I said, he has the opportunity to write his name on the sand of our history and be remembered forever that he was a man who pulled Nigeria from the bricks. But what did he do? He made it worse. Yeah. So in fact, he goes down as the worst president that Nigeria ever had.
That's a very full list as well. We've had some bad ones.
Yes.
So, okay. You just mentioned, you talked about men for a second there, so it just reminded me of Ukoko. Oh, I mean, I say men and then I remember Ukoko. I don't know if there's any connection between both of them. But he's actually threatened that if Jonathan is not elected or selected for the next
if he's not allowed
right,
to stay in and then do the next time, then there's going to be war
right
in things.
Yes.
So now let's talk about the role of the president of the federal republic.
Why hasn't he said anything? Why hasn't
he said I've read him in Facebook. He said no girl is missing.
No, I'm talking about with the Dokubo comments. Why Jonathan hasn't actually...
No, but Jonathan usually don't talk. These are his mouthpiece. These are the people who are benefiting from him. And it's not about the Niger Delta. That's the mistake people are making.
Exactly. Right.
It's not about, because I passed through Bayelsa State, which is the home state of Goodluck Jonathan. And the people, they don't have electricity. They don't have anything. They're living like paupers. That is where the president comes from. So we're not talking about the Niger Delta. We are talking about people, a system that is very much like they are cultists. These are people, they are mafia gang, pulled together. They are drawn from all across the country. They are not from one place, but they're using names, they are using tactics, religion, ethnic nationality. I make oil. You're not the only one making oil. If you're making oil, you alone should not be eating it. What about the other people? Are you the only person that come from Olobiri and in Bayelsa State? Are you the only one? Yes? So we have Oloto Douglas was an environmentalist, a renowned environmentalist. Where is he now? He's now advising him. He's keeping, even his village itself. When his father died, people couldn't travel by road. People started to use plane. That's how they crashed our plane, killed our renowned military men. Now we're in difficulty. Azazi was an advisor on this issue of Boko Haram. Where is he now? He died in a plane crash when he went to attend Oloto Douglas's father's burial. Should Nigeria's military men fly our military jet to go to a private function? These are the things that are wrong in the country. And these are the things that we are seeing. People who went, they are there not because they care. They will be shouting and shouting and shouting.
Yeah, but all this is not news.
No, it's not.
So Nigerians know this. How come nobody
is saying anything?
Right.
Why are they still being desieved? That's the point.
That's the question.
Okay, I was talking to someone yesterday at home who was telling me that in fact the Chibok girl, why are people blaming Jonathan? We should be blaming the head teacher. I heard that. I said people are so ill-informed. They don't see light. Our people don't see light. They don't know. They are not. Their mind is not open. They don't know what's happening. So if they see light, they're watching Nollywood film. If they manage to see light, they are watching Nollywood film. They will not use that opportunity to quickly turn to CNN, turn to Al Jazeera to know what's happening even within Nigeria. What's happening?
You can't blame them for that. The Nigerian media doesn't really, speak out much.
No, but they can then listen. They can see. I've been in Nigeria. You watch Al Jazeera. I went to Igudu Market. I was watching Al Jazeera. Why are you watching? Why are you watching Nollywood film when your children, your life could be in danger? You don't know what's happening next door. Because you're watching Nollywood film. And now, people, why do we not have fuel? There's shortage of fuel. Continue to be shortage of fuel in Nigeria. Why? We produce oil.
Right.
Why do we not have fuel? So that people, you can't give them light. But they cannot, we produce our own electricity, we have a generator, but now we don't have fuel to even drive a car, we don't have fuel for the generator itself. Right. You keep the people in darkness. So it's not only the kidnap of the Chibok girls that is a concern. Yesterday, Al Jazeera was saying, but even there's no light, so the people of Nigeria can't even know what's going on.
This is my point. I mean, so we don't know what's going on. And even when you do have light, you're listening to NTA or which doesn't tell you anything apart from what Patient Jonathan has been up to. So how does that change? Nigeria, still, more people in the diaspora, people like you and other people here, are the ones that make the most noise and actually draw more attention to these things. Yeah,
but then we're also people that have been blacklisted.
But that because you're drawing attention to it.
Yeah, but we don't want that.
But that will never change the political system in Nigeria.
But that's why I am actually calling now that anyone who is listening to this interview, anyone who's going to hear what we're saying, if I'm talking nonsense, still fight for yourself and your children. If you think that what I'm saying makes sense, don't expect me to do it for you. You go do your own. If you think that, you love Jonathan, he's done well, still come out and change things around yourself. If you think, Jonathan is a mistake, fine. Go still come and make the difference. Because there are people in this world, they make history. There are others who criticize history. They antagonize history. Even the Christ we shout, in the time of Christ, who were those who killed Christ? Are they the people that is it me that killed Christ? It's still the church that killed Christ. When he came, when he was talking, people were saying he was deceiving people. He was making things. The Romans were still oppressing him. Up to today, people still do not know the truth about Jesus Christ. Because we rather hear what we are told, not when we listen to our heart and try to work out what is actually true. If the Bible is the authorized version, which version is not authorized? Which of the versions? Is it the authorized version?
And who authorized it?
Who authorized it? Is it not the same people who killed him? Do you think that the people who killed Christ gave you the true picture of what happened? Now, where is the unauthorized version? Why are we not asking questions? And yet we believe that we're going to heaven? Which heaven? And I've asked, I said, now, if all of us want to go to heaven, so how are we going to get there if we don't die? And how is a hungry person going to do the will of God enough to go to heaven? These are issues that we should be asking, but we're not. But I am saying to people now, if you're listening to this interview, know that God has blessed us. And we will create our own reality. He's giving us the free will. He's giving us the authority to create the kind of world we want for ourselves. Why are we not doing it? Why are we believing people who are enjoying the pleasures now? They are flying jets because they know the road is not safe. And we give them the money. We give them authority to fly jets. We are being fooled. And until we wake up, we will continue to die. And I will be surprised that those who are dying foolishly are going anywhere near heaven. Because heaven is not for foolish people. Heaven is not for cowards. Cowards die million deaths. If you are a coward, you can never please God. And that's why the Pope said that if you are corrupt, if you take your neighbor's money, the share of my life, you take it, the Holy Spirit cannot be with you. And if the Holy Spirit is not with you, so where is your gate to heaven?